Well, good morning and welcome. It is 10 a.m. and we are excited to show you guys how to have the perfect group lesson formula. We're here to give you all of the tips and the tricks, everything that you need so that you can write your own group lessons and have a great time and have success doing it. So my name is Simone Lund. I have been teaching group lessons for 20 years. That sounds like a long time, and it kind of is, but I've been doing it that long because I love it so much. And so I've got lots of experience. I'm also working for a company called Let's Play Music. And at Let's Play Music, we teach group piano lessons to kids, and we have lots of fun and engaging ways of doing it and being successful. Part of my role at Let's Play Music is actually training new teachers on how to teach group lessons. So I thought it would only be fitting to give that words of wisdom and advice to all of you who feel like you're not quite ready for group lessons. I want you to leave empowered, knowing, yes, I can. Yes, I can have group lessons. Yes, I can do it successfully. Yes, I can have fun and make more money and have a great time doing it. My parents and love it. So that being said, I would love for you guys to type your names in the chat so that I can see who's here, so I can see who's joining us today, and I can give you guys a shout out whenever I want to. So please type your name into the chat. And then after you've typed your name into the chat, we are going to get started. While you're doing that, I just want to give a quick little intro to Let's Play Music. I mentioned I've been doing it for 20 years. At Let's Play Music, we have over 400 teachers nationwide teaching group lessons using the methods and techniques that I'm going to teach you today in this webinar. And so with 12,000 students, I kind of feel like Let's Play Music knows what they're doing. And so if you can use some of these techniques into your lessons, it's going to be stellar. So I've got Laura Peterson, Corinne, and Kairos in the chat. Hello, thank you so much. I'm excited to get to work with you guys. So if you are ready, type the word ready in the chat and let's go. I am going to start sharing my screen and give you all of the best tips and tricks for group lessons. Awesome. All right. So yes, you can have group lessons and they are going to be successful and you are going to be perfect at doing it. So why do we need to have group lessons? Because it's a win-win for the earner, that's you, and the learner, which is our students. You get to make more money and decrease your hours of teaching. You can have 5 students, 6 students in one group lesson, but if you were to teach privately, your time would go way up and your earning per hour would not. It's also a lot better for the learner because lots of things can be done in a group and should be done in a group and are better done in a group. And first of all, technique and repertoire can be done in a group, and we're going to go over how later on. Things that are better done in a group are music history and music theory. They are a lot more fun and a lot more engaging when you have peers. Things that are only possible done in a group setting are ensemble work, which includes rhythm work, games with competition, interaction, and peer support. That is best done and felt in a group setting, and it's a lot more fun. So with that in mind, I know we all have this voice in our head because I have this voice too. This voice that says, whoa, there's a lot of money that's going to happen. And I'm not sure if I know what I'm doing. I don't know if I have the space for 6 pianos. I don't know if I can even handle 6 students at a time. That sounds really chaotic for me. I'm really good one-on-one, but 6, I'm not really sure about. And then that voice keeps saying things like, I don't even know what to teach. I don't even know where to start. Where am I going to come up with 60 minutes of time of content to fill that time? So we're going to address all of these concerns. Don't worry. I promise that voice is going to be calmed down. We're going to go over today how to organize and begin. We're going to go over the equipment that you need, how much it's going to cost so that you can factor that in to your decision making, how to arrange your space so that you can have 6 or 8 or however many pianos you want in your space, how to manage behavior because 6 students or 8 students can be a lot. And you're going to need some tips and tricks to manage that controlled chaos because they are going to have fun together and it's meant to be loud at times, but we've got you. What are you going to teach? How are you going to fill 60 minutes of time? We're going to give you a lesson plan overview. We're going to have you start writing your first lesson plan right now here in this presentation. And we're going to give you some video examples of real life teaching as well. So your voice in your head is calm down and you are ready for more. So type in that chat more because here it comes. And I want you guys to start taking notes. You should have received a worksheet in the emails that you got. If not, I'm going to send it out to you again after this presentation, but here's your worksheet that we're going to go over. And we're going to start at the top with the structural considerations. There is class size. Now, I've been throwing around numbers like 6 or 8. It could be 4, whatever, or it could be 5. Whatever your number is that feels comfortable to you, that's what you want to start with. What age of students are you going to have in these group lessons? That's another consideration. How long do you want it to be? 45 minutes, 50, 60, 75? Think about your class frequency as well. Is that going to be weekly? Is it going to be monthly? What does this look like realistically for you? And the format, you can have some flexibility here. This is going to be a win-win again for you and for your students. Do you want just group lessons every week without any private instruction? Or do you want a group lesson and some private instruction? Whether that is 2 weeks of group and 2 weeks private, or however you want to hybrid that. The other option is to do a group class live in person, and then you do a quick 10 or 15 minute, either over Zoom or FaceTime, some type of online follow-up with your student, just to give them some personal time as well. However you want to do that is totally up to you, but these are decisions that you're going to want to think about as you get started setting up for these group lessons. Now, how are we going to organize these things? Well, let's see. We need to decide, like I said, how many students. These are what's recommended for you. So we highly recommend that you start with 4 to 6 students, whether that'll help you determine how many keyboards you need to purchase and where you're going to situate them in your studio. And the ages. If you want to have kids similar ages and similar levels, that is what's highly recommended. Sometimes it takes a little bit of a learning curve before you can have multi-level in a class. But that again will come with experience. So I suggest trying it out with similar levels, similar ages first, and see how that feels to you. And then you can start experimenting with multi-level if that's something you want to do. We recommend 60 minutes. Parents just kind of like 60 minutes. It's a great time to drop off and pick up, and it'll give you a nice round number to use when you've got your classes. You can have weekly lessons, bi-weekly, however you want to do that with the format that you choose. So again, whether you're doing group only, without private lessons, or a hybrid, or some type of online follow-up. They're all great options for you, totally ready. So we're going to take a really deep dive into each one of these aspects. So I want you to type in the chat, let's go. Let's go on this deep dive. Let's jump right in and see exactly what that means. And it starts with the cost. Unfortunately, we got to take care of equipment. We can't teach group piano lessons if you don't have pianos for everybody. So that's a necessary expense. So necessary means the things you absolutely have to have day one, lesson one to begin. You got to have keyboards, you got to have a bench, you got to have a stand, you got to have a pedal, you got to have some power cords, stools, footrests, bench lifts, things that the student is going to need to actually physically sit and play the piano. So get those costs in your mind. I'm going to go over later some options for you so that you can kind of plan out and resources where you can outsource this equipment. Things that are important. This is next. These are things you're going to want to add on, not necessarily on day one or week one, but pretty soon afterwards that will just enhance the learning experience for your students. I am going to suggest a magnet board, a dry erase. Now, we have some at our Let's Play Music office that we sell. Oh, some of my magnets came off, but it's a big one and it's double-sided and it's dry erase. It's fantastic. I'm going to show you some images later on, a basic note set, headphones for the students so that they can have private practice time. And then the next phase are the really nice things to have, things that are really going to make your studio stand out among the other studios that are doing group lessons. These are things like counters, little things that you can use, manipulatives, a smart staff, a piano floor mat, a large floor drum. You might say a drum in a piano lesson. Yes, I'm going to just say this, a drum and piano lesson helps you stand out and makes you a much better teacher, and it makes your students much better learners. And some rhythm cards. So these are just some nice to have items. We're going to go over a little bit more details as well. All right, in terms of the equipment, let's look at this. We have to have fully weighted 88 keys, keyboards with pedals, with a stand. If you get some with benches, fantastic. We have some other options for benches as too that I'm going to show you. But here are some kind of on the lower end, some kind of on the nicer higher end. So think about this. I cannot quote Amazon prices. I give you a basic price right there, but Amazon prices change. So don't hold me to these specific prices. I'm not Amazon, but at least you kind of have a rough idea of where you can start or where you want to go in terms of the quality of your keyboards. Again, here are some great places to get keyboards. Amazon, I already mentioned. Costco has a great Black Friday deal. So if you can save all your pennies and jump on that Costco Black Friday deal, that's a really nice option. Sweetwater, Musician's Friends are other options. And again, this is like a rough estimate of prices that you are going to need. Good brands to look for are Yamaha, Roland, and Casio. Those are the ones that I have found to be the best in my studio that last a really long time, and they are pretty good quality. So look at those equipment. If you don't have benches for all of your students, these IKEA stools for $5.99 are a fantastic low budget miracle wonder. So I have used these in my studios and they are fantastic. I also like the IKEA footstools. These are perfect to put under a student's feet. When their little cute legs can't touch the ground, it's nice for them to have a stable footrest. And then a bench lift. Young Musicians has this fabulous padded one, but a ream of copy paper works just as well. So either option is great for you, but these are things that your student is going to need to help them with their technique and to sit better at the piano, but it's also some cost-effective equipment for you and your studio since you have to buy multiple things. Okay, things that you don't necessarily need for day one, but are important to add as soon as you can, just to enhance the learning experience for your students. And these are things like a magnet dry erase board. Now, I mentioned this already. Let's Play Music. There's an image of it right there on your screen. It's dry erase. It's double-sided with a grand staff on one side and a single staff on the other side. It's 18 inches by 24 inches. It is very lightweight, I might add. I can hold this up in front of my class, or I can mount it to my wall, put it on a shelf so that everybody can just, it's on display so that everybody could see it. It's $59.99. And I also suggest our basic note set. There's an image of that there as well. It comes with lots of things that you're going to need: your treble clef, bass clef, your time signatures, half notes, whole notes, accidentals, rests, bar lines. It's a great set for $19.99. Or, of course, you can make your own, or you could just draw it on there because it's a dry erase marker as well. But having a big magnet board on display is a great option so that your students can look up. You can teach a theory lesson, you can teach a concept, have them apply it to their keyboards, and you're all set. Headphones, again, Amazon's got some great ones for $29.99. The prices vary depending on what you're interested in and your quality. Make sure that they plug into your keyboard. That's a really nice thing to have. And a lot of keyboard packages on Amazon will include all of this. It will include the headphones, the bench, the X stand, or something like that. So look for those options. They're fantastic. These are things that you're going to want probably within the first month of teaching, if not sooner. The next equipment that is really nice to have, not quite necessary, but again, helps you stand out. Type in stand out because I know you guys want to stand out from all of the other piano teachers in your area. So type that word in the chat because this is how you stand out. It's the nice things, it's the extra things. And sometimes you might think it's fluff, but it's not. It is more engaging and more tactile experience for your students, which means they're going to love it, parents are going to love it, and you're going to have more students. So rhythm cards is a really great thing to have. You can make your own rhythm cards, or you can go to, I've got some right here that I use. You could go to that TPT stands for Teachers Pay Teachers. And you're going to see TPT all throughout this PowerPoint. So jot that down. Teachers Pay Teachers is a great resource. They have digital files that you can print, laminate yourself, but having rhythm cards is fantastic. Counters or little letters. So the counters are like those little colored discs. Sometimes I want them to build a chord on their keyboard or practice inversions on their keyboard, but I don't necessarily want them to play either. Or I just want to practice note naming games. So things like that will enhance the learning without using sound, which just helps it sink in a little bit into their long-term memory. A piano floor mat. Think of that movie Big. Wasn't that so fun to play the piano that way? Imagine it in your studio where you're off the bench, you're off the keyboard area, but you're on the ground. You're still looking at a piano. You see the keyboard geography. You can still hear sound and you can still identify intervals or inversions or things like that on the piano floor mat, but doing it in a more fun and inviting way. The large drum. The large drum is on Amazon. It's about $130. Again, don't quote me on that price, but this large drum is fantastic. I'm going to give you some tips on how to use the large drum, but let me just say that every child and every adult, pretty sure at some point in their life, has dreamt of being the drummer in a band. And playing the drums always brings a smile to your face. So if you want your students to smile, if you want your students to have fun, having a drum helps you stand out. And again, I know you want to stand out. A pocket chart is a great place for you to just slide in those rhythm cards or anything else that you need to display. A quick, easy way, just hang it up really quick. And then you don't have to use sticky tape or anything like that. A smart staff. Hang tight. You're going to get one of these in a little bit. But a smart staff is just a piece of paper with a piano keyboard on one side and a grand staff on the other. And I like to call it a smart staff because you can use Smarties or Skittles or Cheerios or any type of small object. But a smart staff card is a great way to have children manipulate things and get off the bench. And our student magnet boards. They're very similar to a smart staff, but much better because it's a mini magnet board, just like your teacher's magnet board. It's double-sided with a grand staff and ledger lines, and it's dry erase. And it comes with cute little magnets. I'll show you that in just a minute, but there's a whole magnet set that comes with these. So these student magnet boards that we sell at Let's Play Music are $24.99 with a magnet set. And they, again, will help your studio stand out. All right, let's talk about class setup here, because how am I going to fit all of these keyboards in my space, and how does that look? So here are some options for you. There's actually a couple of more options on your worksheet that you have. So I want you to think about your space. If it's a 10 by 12, it's a 10 by 11, a 10 by 14. Think about your area, how you want to arrange the keyboards in a way where you can, at a quick glance, you can see all hands. You can check for hand position. You can make sure that your students are on task, shall I say, and that everybody is got your eyes on you and that you're all playing together. So these are some optional arrangements for you to do that. The other really great things to have are like a little, I call it a pencil cup. It could be just a little cup that sits on the keyboards. You could have a mini golf pencil in there. You could have some markers, some wipes, those little counters or letters that you've got in there. I like to stick those. I put Velcro on the bottom of the cup and Velcro on my keyboard, and it just sticks right there. And then it's not falling off and it's not tipping over. And it's just a great little handy little pouch there for your kiddos to keep their things nice and neat. and nothing falls into the keyboards or anything like that. So those are just some tips on your classroom setup. Let's talk about classroom management. Now, you're going to die when I say there are only 3 rules to rule them all. Okay, 3 rings to rule them all, 3 rules to rule them all. So I want you guys to type the number 3 into the chat. Type 3 right now, because you are going to just say, I wish I would have known this earlier because my life would have been so much easier. And that is 3 rules to rule them all. So the first rule is that the student is in control. Okay. The student is in control, which means you need to empower your students to know how to operate your keyboards, and you need to empower your students to know when not to operate your keyboards. So having the student in control will help you do that. The idea behind that is you want to develop a routine that will have turning the keyboard on, turning the keyboard off, and other types of routines. I'm going to show you a couple of videos about this that will help. So the first rule is the student is in control, and you're going to help empower the student to know what that control is and to use that control in wise ways. The next thing that you're going to do is tell them what to do. We all know that when we have a kiddo in our house and we say, oh, don't touch that, don't touch that, they immediately what? They touch it. And you said, don't touch it. Well, how about we start, because all the kiddos hear is touch it. We need to start telling them what to do with their hands. So if you want them to stop playing the keyboard, you need to have some type of fun way to engage them to get their hands up. So it could be something like a call and response where you say, hands on top, and then the kiddos say, time to stop, and then they put their hands up. I like to say something like, hands in lap, and then they say slippity slap, and then they slap their laps and they keep their hands in their laps. I know one teacher who started singing, put your hands up, start singing, stop playing our song. Sorry, going away. But she started to sing that, and all of the kids put their hands up and just started around going, I think this is what I'm supposed to do. And it was just a fun way to engage and grab their attention, to tell them what to do instead of what not to do. All right, the third rule, play together, stay together. We're all friends in our group piano lesson, which means we want to play together and we want to stay together and we want to sound like one big giant piano, and it's going to be fantastic when we're all playing together and staying together. So emphasize that at the very beginning of your lessons and make it a big deal and praise them when they stay together and when they play together, because having more fun playing together is just better. So these can be things like everybody float up. So you, in order to get them to play together, you have to set them up for success, which means you have to get them moving at the same time, landing on their keyboards in their right position at the same time, and giving them a tempo with ready words. Here we go. And then they know when to come in and start playing. Another thing that we highly suggest is something that we call a human metronome. You guys are probably used to this, but if you're not, you're going to want to stand up and walk between all 6 of your keyboards. You're going to be singing and you're going to be patting your lap and you're going to be keeping this nice steady beat because you are the teacher human metronome. But that just helps your students stay together and play together. Another really fun thing to use are accompaniment tracks. Sometimes you can create those yourself if you have a piano that can record for you. Sometimes it's as easy as just keeping a nice steady beat. If you have a digital piano, starting off with that beat, you can put a little rock beat behind it or something like that. But if you aren't that creative and you don't want to take the time for that, we actually sell some accompaniment tracks that I'm going to introduce you to that are phenomenal. And it's a really fun way to feel like you are an ensemble, to feel like you're really part of a band and making it fun. So staying together, playing together with accompaniment tracks works really well also. And then when you're all done, you can have a call or response that says you're all done. Make sure you praise the kiddos and give them high fives, give each other, other students high fives, things like that. These are rules that help at the keyboard. Now, it's really crucial that you remember we're going to be spending time off of the keyboard. We're actually not spending 60 whole minutes at the piano, okay? So the off the keyboard activities are really going to help them. So when they come back to the keyboard, they're going to be focused. And with that, let's watch a couple, let's see. Yes, let's watch a couple of class examples of this. These are two just shy of 1 minute videos, but I wanted to get you to see. She's got hers in a U-shaped around her. This is one of our teachers, and she's just going over, this is like day one, lesson one, her opening routine of turning the keyboard on and turning the keyboard off. This is rule number one for empowering the students. So let's watch this.
Right. Okay, the most important button that I'm going to teach you is right here. This is your on and off button. Don't push it yet. Hey guys, come on in. This is your on and off button.
All right, friends, give me 1 second. I'm actually going to change the way I share this screen so that you can see it a lot better. So hang on real tight. That's probably a lot better. Okay, here we go.
Okay, right here, don't push it yet. Right here, don't push it yet. Right here, hi Sam, come sit at a piano, okay? This is your on-off button, don't push it yet, okay? We only push the power button, right here, not yet. When I say, get ready to push it, power up, okay? Okay, you should see some red numbers over here. Oh, did I say here we go? No, good job. Okay. Power down. Okay, let's try again. Power up. Okay, we're gonna play. Here we go. Play whatever you want. Play whatever you want. Good job. Very good. Come on, number one. Sharp. Above your head, Sam, like this. Good job. Power down.
Awesome. Okay, wasn't that so fun to watch? This is what it looks like, right? With kiddos coming in late. She's explaining the same thing 3 times. Okay, here's your power button, here's your power button, here's your power button. But once everybody gets set, she just practices on and off. And then she lets them play as much as they want. And then they have to power down. And then did you see what she did at the end? What did she tell them to do with their hands? Shark. That's so easy. Immediately, everybody gets their hands up, they make a shark fin, and then they're done. So type in the word shark into the chat because that is a really fun tip. It's a great way to just get the kids, get their hands off the keyboard, and get them refocused and listening to you. So shark is another really quick, easy thing to do. All right, I'm going to share my screen. I've got another video for you. This one is to show you about accompaniment tracks. So let's watch and see how to use accompaniment tracks in class and a good example of a human metronome. So here we go.
Right, okay.
Oh, sorry, friends, here we go.
Okay, guys, let's see if we can do our F cadence. And we're going to do it with our F cadence blues. So, oh, that was right. Are you in F position? F position, follow along. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Good, B flats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, B flat. 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3.
All right, again, a great example of accompaniment tracks, human metronome, singing along, having everybody stay together and play together because it's a lot more fun that way. And she's calling out B flats and she's looking at all of the hands. That's the setup that you want, something that you can quickly check everybody. You can feel that beat and you can keep everybody together. So that is a couple of examples of what it's really like to be in class. So I want to go to our next slide here. This slide has to do with the second worksheet that you got. This is where we really dive in deep. So grab a pen and grab a pencil because we're going to go through this worksheet and we're going to start writing 60 minutes. Remember that voice in your head that was like, oh, I don't know if I can handle 60 minutes. Yes, you can. You can handle 60 minutes, and I'm going to show you how. It is going to be fantastic and a lot of fun. So if you don't have that second worksheet, I'll send it to you in an email after this session. But it starts with here. We're going to break it down into 4 sections. Opening keyboard routine, and off the bench area, repertoire back at the keyboard, and then off the bench again. So what does this look like? Let's jump in. If you're ready to start jumping in and start writing lesson plan number 1, type yes into the chat. I want to see lots of yeses. Go, 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 go. Yes, 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 yes. This is going to be so much fun. This is what you're waiting for, because this next slide, get your phones out. You're going to want to take a picture of this one. Okay. So let's get going. This is how we break it down. This is the formula for a perfect 60-minute lesson plan. First area is going to be at the keyboard. You're going to open right at the keyboard, and it's going to take about 15 minutes in this area. We're going to break it down into 3 5-minute segments of those first 15 minutes. The first 5 minutes, I would love for you to start with ear training and sight reading. And I know that's probably hard, and that's a lot, but we want to harness the most attention that they possibly have at the beginning of class for the hardest thing. So ear training and sight reading. This could include dictation, identifying melodies, intervals, rhythm, things like that. Spend first 5 minutes on these things. Really encourage those parents to come to class on time, because this is key and they're going to miss out if they don't. The second 5 minutes you're going to spend is going to be on scales, cadences, and technique. So think about, what do we need to do? Whether we're going to do our scales with the accompaniment tracks, we're going to do some cadences, or we're going to work on a specific technique. But I want you guys to spend 5 minutes reviewing those things. The last 5 minutes in this keyboard section is a theory lesson. This is where that awesome magnet board comes into play, okay? So I highly suggest that you get that magnet board, because you're going to use it to teach the very beginning of your theory lesson. And then you're going to move that theory lesson concept into the off the bench area. So off the bench means you find an area on the floor where the kids can relax, where the kids can unwind. So you spent nice concentrated 15 minutes on the keyboards, hitting some really good concepts. Now off the bench, you're going to continue that theory lesson. This would include using a large floor staff, which I'm going to show you a picture of, a large keyboard mat, which I already did show you a picture of, the magnet board. This can also include rhythm work with the drum, with the rhythm cards, with, if you wanted to get sticks together too, something that you can use to help them with rhythm. So 10 minutes off the bench is all they need. If you have 10 great fun minutes off of the bench, when you go back to the keyboard area for the third section, the repertoire at the keyboard, they're going to be fantastic. They're going to get all of their wiggles out and they're going to be ready to go. So 25 minutes on the bench, 10 minutes can be with an ensemble repertoire. So if you're working together as a group on an ensemble piece, spend 10 minutes playing together, staying together, working through sections, however you want that to look with an ensemble repertoire. That's the best way to spend those first 10 minutes. Then headphones go on. Each child can have 15 minutes of nice, solid practice, supervised practice on an individual repertoire piece. That gives you 2 to 3 minutes to check everybody at their keyboard, listen to them, answer questions, and things like that. So 15 minutes of individual practice time. After that, we go back off the bench and we end our 60 minutes off the bench, having fun, doing some music history or studying classical pieces, and a game to reinforce the theory concept. We always want to end with a game because games are fun, and we want to end with the fun so that they go home happy and smiling, and they get in their parents' car and mom and dad goes, yes, they liked their lesson today. It's worth my time and it's worth my money. So this is a big overview of what we're about to go through, but let's dive down deeper and deeper. We're going to talk about opening keyboard and what that looks like. But before I do, I really want to emphasize how important off the bench is. It is crucial that you do have off the bench time. These guys are young. Do you know the average attention span of an 8 to 12-year-old is about 12 to 16 minutes? 12 minutes, okay? This is why we're breaking down our lesson into 5-minute sections, then 15, 10, because their attention span is that short. And we need to start teaching the way that these children learn. And that means we need to give the brain a break. We need to have them switch from on the bench to off the bench, because switching areas resets the brain. It helps to get their wiggles out. It uses full body. Sensory and kinesthetic learning is happening when they're off the bench and experiencing things for themselves. It also locks it into their long-term memory a lot better, and it just makes it more fun. This off the bench area is, again, what is going to set you apart from other piano teachers, because parents are going to love it, students are going to love it, and you're going to stand out. So type in the word reset, because off the bench resets the brain. You've got to reset the brain. You've got to reset your kiddos' brains so that when they learn a new concept, they're fresh and they're ready to go. So type in that word reset. And now we're going to dive a little bit deeper into opening keyboard, the first area. So remember, this is going to be 15 minutes. We're going to break it down into 5-minute segments within those 15 minutes, all at the keyboard. This is a great picture because, as you can see, having a magnet board for dictation, for some sight reading, simple things, to build chords, intervals, it's very handy. And these kiddos are taking dictation right on their keyboards. It can be just like a desk. If the keyboard is off, give them something to write on, and it's easy. So again, you don't have to find anything fancy, just a pencil and a piece of paper and a book, and they're ready to go. Dictation is first with some sight reading and ear training. Scales and cadences, that's going to be your next 5 minutes. I've got 2 examples of backup tracks that we like to use in class that make cadences. Usually when we talk about cadences, kids are like, again, like, oh, but if you can play it with backup tracks, it's going to be a lot more fun. So I want to introduce you to Cadence Blues. Cadence Blues is a fun song, and you'll hear why it's called Cadence Blues.
F position, here we go.
This is that example that we showed you where she's calling out the chords. You could be doing that, and it's nice and easy. I love having backup accompaniment tracks for scales and cadences because, again, we've all dreamt of being in a band at some point or another. So to be the lead pianist with my backup band playing behind me is actually really fun. So think about that as you are incorporating audio tracks into your lessons. It just makes it a lot more fun. And it makes the musical experience more enriching because you have layers of sound. You're not just hearing one chord at a time. You're hearing backup harmony with those chords, which again, it just makes the learning experience, makes the ensemble experience and the ear training that much better and that much enriching. Let's listen to a scale accompaniment track. So these scale accompaniment tracks are great. Let's see if we can, there it goes. So this track is about 1 minute and 30 seconds. In 1 minute and 30 seconds, I want you guys to guess how many times they would be playing that scale in 1 minute and 30 seconds. Just have a number in your head. 1 minute and 30 seconds. If that number is higher than 5, raise your hand. If that number is higher than 5, because it's true, it's higher than 5. In 1 minute and 30 seconds, 9 times. This student would be playing a scale 9 times. How many students do you know love playing their scale 9 times in a row in 1 minute and 30 seconds? I don't know any. So if you do, good for you. But that's what accompaniment tracks do. They make playing scales fun. Again, because you have a band playing behind you. You have trumpets going. You have a drum set going. You are the lead pianist in a band. And that makes everything more fun. And it doesn't feel like a chore or a drill when you're doing scales. So use accompaniment tracks. That's fantastic. And in a second, I'm going to show you how to buy some. So stay tuned. In the last 5 minutes of this section, you're going to be doing a theory lesson. So you're going to be introducing key signatures, triads, inversions, time signatures. You know what to introduce. These are the very beginning of your theory concept, probably with your magnet board in a way that can be introduced in the keyboard area and then experienced with their full body when you're off the bench. A little tip here at the bottom is a washable marker works really well on pianos. Don't freak out. I promise they do. A washable marker, you just write letter names on there. You could build a chord on there. You could practice inversions on there. It's a really effective tool. Just a wet wipe will wipe it away, and it's fantastic. So it's a great way for keyboard geography to be instilled in their head at the keyboard without playing the keyboard. Washable marker. Great tip. Here's how you can get some accompaniment tracks. You can buy them for $19.99 on our website, and I'm going to give you a link later. But if you want 2 free ones right now, get your phone out and scan this QR code. I'm going to give you 2 free tracks right now just for joining us. And you're going to see, and I want you to try playing with these at home because you're going to love 1.5 minutes of your life playing scales that you've never experienced before. So scan this QR code, enjoy 2 free audio tracks. You're going to have to fill in your name and your email so that we can email those MP3 files to you, but they're going to come as soon as you fill out that form. So 2 free scale accompaniment tracks. Try them at home and see if you don't love being the lead pianist with your backup band playing behind you. All right. Let's go into section 2. Now, section 2 is off the bench. Remember, this is crucial time. Off the bench, you need a good 10 minutes to get the wiggles out. So you're going to use the floor mat, a floor staff, a piano mat, smart staff, anything that your kiddos can do to manipulate. Anything, a manipulative is anything that they can touch, that they can move, that they have control over, that they can build themselves. So you're going to continue that theory lesson either with a giant keyboard floor mat or some other type of manipulative that will reinforce the learning. You can also do rhythm work off the bench. So 5 minutes theory, 5 minutes of rhythm work, using the rhythm cards, using the large drum, using, even if you have a few different sets of instruments, it could be rhythm sticks, maracas, it could be like bells, anything. Like if you have a mixed group of instruments, that's totally fine. But it's really nice to have instruments versus just clapping because, again, it's what stands out in a difference. It makes the difference and makes you stand out. So, all right. So here are some real specific things for off the bench. A smart staff, the magnet board. Again, we have a student magnet board. This is a great tool that the students can use to put, if they want to put letters up here, if they wanted to put notes up here, all of this is available with our website, and they can build scales, they can build chords, you can do inversions, all kinds of fun things. I highly recommend a student magnet board. Note naming games. So I'm going to give this to you as a freebie. Are you guys excited for a freebie? I hope you are. Type freebie in the chat. so that you can get your freebie of these giant note flashcards. So I'm going to show them. I'm just going to stop sharing I'm going to show you really quick so you can see what it is to have a giant flashcard. Can you show this to your students? Can you imagine them calling out the name of that note, finding it on their quiet keyboard, or playing some other really fun games with these giant note flashcards? So I'm going to show you, I had on the screen a couple of games listed, and they are Around the World and Jumping Beans. So Around the World is where you have your students line up. You're going to show them the flashcard and they're going to go against each other. And the first student to say the letter correctly gets to move on to the next student. And then the first student of those two moves on to the next one. And ideally, if one student can make it through everybody first, they've made it around the world. Jumping Beans is a really fun game. I've actually got a video of this so that you can see it in a real class setting. So let me jump over to Jumping Beans here.
You ready? We'll start easy. F. A. C. E. A. C. F. E. F. C. E. C. A. C. A. C. A. C. F. Oh, I love it. Good job. It's as easy as that.
Isn't that fun? I
Ready?
love that. I love how she's calling them out as fast as she can and they're jumping and they are the note. So learning notes on the staff doesn't have to just be black and white looking at a piece of paper. You can experience it full body. Rhythm work off the bench is so much fun. Here's a picture of one of our teachers with the drum, and she has got a card on there, rhythm card on there. And if she's actually got 2 drums, which is really fun. Can you imagine learning about subdivision on 2 drums? What if you had quarter note on one drum and 2 eighth notes on the other drum, and the reverberation that happens there, or 16ths on one drum and a quarter note on the other drum, or triplets even? Oh my goodness, I think I would have learned triplets a lot better if I could have played them on the drum. So I would love for you guys to invest in that drum. It's going to make you stand out from all of the other teachers. You can follow a metronome. Some really fun games to play on the gathering drum is It's My Turn. So if you've got one drum and you start your metronome, you start that nice steady beat, and then you point to your student. They have to do whatever rhythm you have them doing, whether it's just straight quarter note or 4/16, but they have to come in on their turn, on their beat. And it's a great way to anticipate the beat. It's a great way to follow and keep them engaged. Mystery beat. So let's say you've got 4 of those beat cards. You've got a quarter note, 2 eighth notes, and then nothing for the 3rd beat. And then you've got another quarter note for the 4th beat. They have to listen to you perform that 4 beats, and they have to figure out what was in that 3rd beat. That's the mystery beat. Who knows what they heard? And then you place it in there and then you play it together. So mystery beat is a lot of fun and it's very engaging. Pass the instrument. If you have like mixed instruments like that, or even if you just have everybody have the same instrument, if you have a 4-beat pattern, I like to use a 4-beat pattern and then I take a second 4-beat pattern to pass and pick up, and then we can start again. So even if everybody has rhythm sticks and you're sitting in a circle, you beat 4, you have a 4-beat pattern, and then you have 2 beats to pass and 2 beats to pick up, and then you're ready to come in again on time. So pass the instrument is a great way to practice rhythm. We're going to go back to the keyboard area. And this actually, I feel like you guys are pros at already. You guys are pros. So type the word pros in the chat, because you guys are definitely pros at this next part, because you don't need, I know you guys have so much music. It's coming out of your drawers and in your ears and it's everywhere. So 10 minutes of ensemble repertoire. I definitely know you can handle 10 minutes of ensemble repertoire, coming up with whatever repertoire you want. If you need help, Google it. Individual repertoire, again, you know the repertoire that you've assigned to your students individually, headphones on, then you give them 2 to 3 minutes of individual repertoire time. And that's 25 minutes of solid keyboard practicing, probably the best practicing they'll have all week, if I'm honest. So the next part is our off the bench activity. So we are going to end class off the bench. It's going to be about 10 minutes off the bench. We're going to do 5 minutes of classical, studying a classical piece or music history, something like that. And then we're going to end with a game. So I want you guys to think about this piece. We're going to talk about Beethoven, and I'm going to teach you how I would teach my students here. So if you guys, I'm going to do my best to pretend like I'm marching because I might not be on the screen, but I want you guys to internalize this, and I'm going to guide you through some things, and we're going to have a great time studying this music history. So let's go. It starts off quiet. I want to introduce you to this piece. This is a piece written by a man named Ludwig van Beethoven. Can you say that, class? Ludwig van Beethoven. And Beethoven lived in this magical place called Germany. Can you say Germany? Oh, excellent, excellent. Well, in Germany, Beethoven was living there. He was a magnificent writer and composer, but he was losing his hearing. He couldn't hear. He started losing his hearing in his 20s. And then by the time he was in his 40s, about the time he was writing this piece, he was deaf. How are you supposed to write music and hear music if you're deaf? Well, you're Beethoven. That's how. Beethoven could hear it in his head. And he used his head. And he wrote this beautiful Ninth Symphony to display how it feels to be united. And he'll use these words. Hear how Beethoven would turn into music. Upbeat is on beat 4 before the downbeat on beat 4. Oh, I'm hearing that upbeat. That upbeat. Wanted you to feel it. You guys did it. You felt that beat. I love that. That upbeat is on beat 4, and then you feel ties into your downbeat on beat 1. You've got 4. I love that. Way to go, you guys. All right. Type in the chat upbeat, because I know you guys have never felt an upbeat or experienced an upbeat that way. That is a way that will help you stand out from all of the rest of the piano teachers. Feeling an upbeat. You got a music history lesson, you got a classical music exposure, and full body involvement. That is the best way to teach kiddos, and a fun way too for you. Then you're going to end with a game. This could be something that you get on Teachers Pay Teachers or West Music, all of these resources. It could be like a little masterpiece. It could be a music history lesson or a composer sketch. We also have these music era modules. So if you want to study the Baroque era, the Romantic, the Modern, we have worksheets for you. We have a little mini lesson. You can do them in class or you can copy them and send them home. But these are great tools that you can use to make it fun and engaging. Or you could play a music bingo game. This is the third freebie I'm going to give you guys. You're going to get a smart staff, the large notes, and music bingo. So type in freebie 3 in the chat for your music bingo game. These are a great thing for you to do. It's a lot of fun. Pianogamer.net is a great resource as well for fun piano games. And you guys probably already have a bunch of piano games too. So I trust that you guys can do it. So now remember where we were at the beginning. Remember how it felt. That voice in your head was going, hang on. But all of these things have been eliminated. We have addressed every single one of these concerns. And that voice in your head is quieting down. And your thoughts are now being excited and empowering. And I can do this because I don't have any more fears. So type in the chat, yes, I can. Yes, I can do group lessons. Yes, I can have a great experience teaching. Yes, I can write lesson plans and fill 60 minutes of time. Yes, I can tell kids what to do with their hands, and I'm going to be awesome. Yes, I can. I want you guys to think about that because I want you to go for it. I want you to start recruiting 3 classes. Think about that. If you had 3 classes with 18 students, you would be set. You've got 18 students and you're only teaching 3 hours a week. Hey, that's fantastic. I like the sound of that. If you have 3 classes with 18 students, you've probably just tripled your income in just that first year. So think about this. If we've got 3 classes in the first year, let's say that we keep those 3 classes and we do that the next year and we recruit 3 more classes. Now, all of a sudden, I've got 6 classes. Oh, yes. And then I do that again in 3 years. And now I've got 9 classes and I've got 54 students, 6 in each class. If I taught 54 student private lessons, I would be teaching 27 hours in a week. But if I'm teaching 54 students in 9 classes, I'm only teaching 9 hours a week. I've just got 18 hours of my life back. Can you type in the chat, I got my life back? Because that's what group lessons does. It gives you your life back. 18 hours in a week is a lot of time. So I've got my life back. Yes, that's what I want. Okay. Now, I know what you're saying. You're thinking, I still have to write some lesson plans and I still have to fill 60 minutes of time. That's okay. Because what if I said, we have 90 lesson plans already written. We do 90, you guys, 3 years worth of lesson plans already written. You don't even have to spend a single minute writing a lesson plan. We have 90 of them already written for you. Do you guys want to hear a little bit more about these 90 lesson plans? Because if you do, type yes into the chat. 90 lesson plans that you don't have to write, that you don't have to think about, that you don't even have to worry about. You just get 90 lesson plans mailed to you that you can just start using and start teaching. Yes, that's fantastic. So if you're ready to hear a little bit more about these 90 lesson plans, then I want you to stay tuned because we have 3 different programs with 90 lesson plans in them. Hello. 90 lesson plans in our Sound Beginnings curriculum is for ages 0 to 4. It's a family music class with 6 non-sequential semesters, and it's a great way to introduce young students to music concepts, but also kindergarten concepts and foreign language in a really fun, playful way. It's for a student and a caregiver, and it's that's what I mean by a family class. We also have our Let's Play Music curriculum, which is for ages 4 to 6. It's a foundational piano program with 90 lesson plans, 3 years worth of lesson plans, in fact, and all kinds of teaching materials and tips and tricks. And that is our Let's Play Music program. Our Presto program actually only has 60 lesson plans, but still 60 is a lot because it's a 2-year program. We start with beginning piano and an accelerated program for ages 7 through 12. And that's our Presto curriculum. So it is fantastic. Okay, are you guys cool if I just kind of go over really quick some of the financials with getting these lesson plans? If you're cool with that, type in the word cool in the chat. It's going to be real quick. So let's go over, type in cool in the chat. We're going to type that in and we're going to get ready to hear a little bit more about what these lesson plans means and what it might cost to get 90 lesson plans. Okay, licensing fee is what you would be getting when you sign up to be a Let's Play Music teacher, a Sound Beginnings teacher, or a Presto teacher. It's a one-time $2,500 fee. You can also break it up into monthly payments with zero interest. Zero interest, guys. I know you're charging more than $69 a month for one private student, so you can definitely get your money back if you break it up into monthly payments. There is a teacher support fee based on which curriculum that you use. That is per student per month. There are some additional costs that are not included in your licensing fees, and that is something that is your own investment in your own studio. And I've broken it down for you depending on which curriculum that you want to teach and which program suits you best, which age group suits you best. The other legal requirements that have a minimal cost is we do require you to get a background check because you are going to be teaching children and we want to make sure it's safe for children to come to your studio. And we also want you to get some liability insurance. If you don't have liability insurance right now, you definitely should get that, but we require all of our teachers to do liability insurance. So now that we've gone over some of the nitty gritty, I want you guys to type in the chat, show me the money. Woo! Show me the money, because you want to know how much you're going to be earning when you are teaching these classes. So I'm going to go over this middle column here, the Let's Play Music column, just so you get a rough idea of what this looks like. Okay, remember, you guys are already going to recruit 3 classes. You've had that in your head. You're going to go for 3 classes. That's 18 students. You've got this. You can totally do this. Now, this is the suggested tuition at $80 a month with 8 students in class. Let's say that you choose to do that and you have 3 classes. You're going to be making this $19.20 a month. That's with 3 full classes, charging $80. You probably charge more than that. I hope you do. But this is where the money gets really, really amazing. That's just your first year of teaching. If you're teaching Let's Play Music, all of those level 1 students are advancing to level 2. So now you've got 3 classes at level 2, and you've recruited 3 more level 1 classes, doubling your class size from 3 to 6. You now have 6 classes, and you're earning about $3,800 a month, teaching 6 hours a week, 6 classes. That's pretty awesome. Now it's a 3-year program, so level 2s go up to level 3, 1s go up to 2s, and you recruit a new level 1 class. Now you've got 9 classes. You're making over $5,700 a month, teaching 9 classes, working 9 hours. Cha-ching. That's what I hear. Show me the money. Cha-ching. 9 hours a week, teaching 9 classes, making over $5,700 a month. That is awesome. Okay. I know what you're thinking because I have this voice too. We all have this little voice. What if I can't recruit 7, even 7 students, even 2 students? I don't even know if I could do this. You're talking about 18. I don't even know if I can get 2 or 4. How is this even going to happen? What am I going to do? Well, we've got you back. We are so confident in our curriculum and in you that we know that you can get 7 students. You can at least get 7 students. Type 7 in the chat because I know you guys can have 7 students. 7 students will still get your money back, your investment back of your licensing fees. We are so confident that we are going to give you your money back. There is no risk, just results. Imagine 7 students or you get your money back. Don't worry about this. Type in 7. We know you can do this. We know you can handle this. We know you can get those 7 students. We're here to help you reach those goals, and we're here to help you succeed. And if we don't, then there's no risk to you. You can get your money back and you can move on. So let's find out exactly what is included in these licensing fees. Are you ready for this? Because you're going to be amazed at how much you get in these licensing fees. You have everything that you need to teach. Remember, I said 90 lesson plans? That's just the tip of the iceberg, guys. 90 lesson plans. That student magnet board that I kept showing you about, that vinyl floor stuff that I kept showing you about, all of these materials, all of these visual aids, all of the student materials, that's all included. Plus, look at all these bullet points. You get the Let's Play Music app. Everybody has access to all of the albums on the Let's Play Music app. Plus, there are instruments, some interactive things that you can play, as well as communication with the parents that are enrolled in your class. All of that's included in the app. We have audio tracks that you're going to be listening to, 24 albums. If I don't say so myself, it's pretty shabby. We have a teacher magnet board that's included, the floor staff, all of the student materials, recruiting training. Remember I said those 7 students? We're going to help you get that. We have business training. We have a training seminar, a live in-person seminar, or an online seminar. We have a video platform that you can watch all of the activities to refresh your memory and review how to do them. We have all of those lesson plans, 90 lesson plans, all written, ready to go, spelled out for you, how much time to spend on each activity, and you get a lifetime of coaching and support. All of that is normally $5,000. But remember what those licensing fees were? They weren't $5,000. They were $2,500, you guys. Your cost is $2,500. And because you guys joined me on this call, and because you guys are my favorites, I'm allowed to offer you $500 off. You can get $500 off, but there's a couple of catches, and they're down there at the bottom. Instead of paying $2,500, you could just pay $2,000. You could do that monthly or in a lump sum, but you got to apply by Monday. Monday, guys, February 10th. I got to get those applications in on Monday because we have a training 1 month from today, and you're going to be there. We need you to come to train either on March 7th or March 28th. Like how I mix those numbers. March 7th is a month from today, and we would love to have you there in Arizona. March 28th is in Salt Lake. And again, we would love to have you there. So if you want that $500 off, I need you either March 7th or March 28th, and you got to apply by Monday. The good news is applying by Monday takes about 5 minutes. So don't worry about it. That's step number 1. You could totally do this. You could totally go back to the formula that we gave you. It's great. And you're going to be great at this. I know you guys are well equipped to write a 60-minute lesson plan using this formula. You're going to rock it. But if you decide you don't want to do that, then I need you to type into the chat the word yes. And it better be all caps, guys. Yes. Yes, I can. Yes, I can teach group piano lessons. And yes, I can use a curriculum that's already available with all of those tools and all of that training, all of that at my fingertips. Yes, I can just get this package in the mail and open it up and go through the training and start teaching. I don't have to do anything. It's this here for me. Yes, I can get $500 off of those licensing fees. Instead of $2,500, it's $2,000. Remember, you're getting a $5,000 value for $2,000. Yes, you can do this, you guys. Yes, you can enjoy more free time. You can enjoy more students, and you can enjoy more income because you deserve it. Say, yes, I can, because this is about you and you can do this. If you're ready to apply, this application takes 5 minutes. So I would love for you guys to scan this QR code, fill out the application. We would love to get to know your background. So just give us a little bit of your background and some information about you. And that's step number 1. Save the date for March 7th and 28th because that $500 is worth it. And you're going to love the in-person training. Imagine going to a concert in person versus watching it on TV. It's a lot different, guys. Trust me. the magic of the concert and the live training is going to be felt, and you're going to love it. So enjoy the March 7th or March 28th. But this is the application. Group lessons, here you come. Yes, you guys can. I know you can do it. And I am so proud of you guys for taking this first step, because this is going to make 2025 a year for you guys to remember, and you're going to be fantastic at it. So thank you so much for joining me. I want you guys to, I'm going to keep up this QR code, but I want you guys to type into the chat some of your takeaways so that everybody can see what were the things that you learned? What were the things that stood out to you? What do you remember the most? And what are you going to take away from that? Because I want to start seeing what you guys see in the chat. Let me see if I can open up the chat here. What have we got here? Oh, I love it. Look at, I'm scrolling through so many yeses and so many things in this chat. I love it, you guys. Type in what you learned. If it was the shark fin, it was the accompaniment track, or I would love for you guys to scan this QR code and apply. Again, you guys have got this weekend to think about this, but I'll tell you, there's not much to think about. Filling out the application takes 5 minutes. After that, you'll get emailed the rest. But honestly, it's worth it, guys. $500, it's totally worth it. 90 lesson plans. Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, I'm so glad you love the scale accompaniment track, Nathan. That's awesome. Kairos, I'm so glad you love the lesson plan format. That's fantastic. Oh, Corinne, so glad you love the lesson plan format. You guys are so great. You're going to love this. You guys are going to be empowered. You can do group lessons. It's going to be fantastic. Oh, keep these comments coming, you guys. Thank you so much. I am so glad that you enjoyed this. I'm so glad you got something out of that. Laura says this is an interactive curriculum. I learned that teaching music can be so much more than just sitting at the piano. Amen. Laura, that is the point. I hope you guys took that away from today's class, because there is so much more to piano than just sitting at the bench and staring at music. We want to make sure it's full body and that the kids are engaged and having fun, and that you stand out as a teacher and as a studio. Oh, this is fantastic, you guys. Thank you so much. I am just loving this. You guys are such a great group. Oh, this is so cool. If you guys have any questions you want to type in the chat too, please feel free to do that. I would love to answer questions. I'm here for you. So whatever you guys have a question about, let's hear it. I'm ready. Oh, you guys, this is so cool. It's so cool. I need to take a drink. My mouth is going crazy. Any questions? Any questions at all? I hope I see your application, because you guys are the best. Cream of the crop right here. Apply to be a teacher, because you're going to love Sound Beginnings, Let's Play Music, or Presto. It's amazing and fantastic. So it looks like we have a question in the chat, and I'm going to have my my assistant and actually owner of Let's Play Music, guys, Shelly, is manning the chat for me, and she's typing away. So keep those questions coming. Keep those firing. I love it. I am here for it. I just want to talk about the application process while I've got some of you here, and maybe this might be one of your questions. So you're going to fill out this application. Again, it takes 5 minutes. It's just a bit of your background so that we can get to know you. After you fill out the application, we're going to email you some demo video instructions. We're musicians. We all know about demo videos and demo tapes and how that works. We just want to make sure that we can see you actually playing the piano and actually singing, so that we know how your musicianship is and what your background is. So we want to see you play something, and we want to see you sing something. I'm guessing the demo video will take you 10 minutes to record. All you have to do is put your phone up on a tripod and hit record and submit the video. Honestly, as musicians, you guys got this. I'm really not worried about that. After that video gets sent in, then we go through an interview with the owner of Let's Play Music. And then we move forward with you signing that licensing agreement and coming to 7 or 20. So it looks like somebody unmuted themselves. Do you have a question? If I'm hearing this right, it looks like my friend Shelly answered that. Yes. $7 per student. That's great question. That's our support fee, which is different than the licensing fee. The licensing fee is a one-time fee. So once you're done paying that $2,500, if you pay them in monthly payments, you're done. But every year that you teach one of our curricula, you are going to be paying that support fee per student per month. So that's what that support fee does. It supports you. That's part of your lifetime support that you guys are getting and as part of your licensing terms. So that's a great question. Licensing fees are a little bit different than those support fees. So thanks for asking that. Let me talk about the way students enroll in class. So you are going to have your own unique URL for your classes through us. So we're going to provide that URL to you. Your student, your parent is going to click on that link to your class. They're going to enroll in Tuesday at 10 o'clock or whatever time you choose to teach. And then they're going to purchase the materials through us. You don't even have to worry about it. You don't have to make copies of things. You don't have to print out things. You don't have to do that. The students will purchase the materials through us. They'll enroll through us on our website. We collect that money for just the materials, and then we mail the materials to you. Done and done. All you have to do is collect the monthly tuition, which is what you do anyways with your lessons. You collect the tuition directly from parents. All we have to do is get them to purchase the materials through us. Then the tuition gets sent directly to you, and then you have to pay your support fee to us. But the parents send tuition to you, and the parents purchase the materials through us. So that's a little bit of the difference. But again, it's already through your own unique URL. If you already have your own website, the best part is you can link the URL we give you on your website. That's all you got to do. You just got to put our unique URL in your website. Then they're going to click that, and then they're going to click to buy the materials. It's no big deal. A lot of our teachers have their own websites, and that's what they do. They just put the URL, the unique URL that we have embedded into their own website, and it clicks them and it gets them to the same place. So it's pretty fantastic. Looks like we have Kairos, who's one of our Sound Beginnings teachers. She's asking about some private lessons, and that's so awesome. That is something, Ms. Kairos, that you would want to email the team about, because if it's about your licensing agreement, you're going to want to check in with the office or your Sound Beginnings team about that. So I'm going to hope maybe Shelly's typing that answer, but that's my best advice. Does your group schedule, ABC had that question. Did you answer it for her? Oh, let me answer this. So does our group schedule post on the Sound Beginnings URL or on our website? The schedule, your classes that you're talking about for the group lessons is going to be, you're going to set those up on our website. You can also put them on your website as well. And you can, or your blog, or however you're communicating with your clientele. But they are going to need to enroll through our website. So at some point, you're going to need to put our unique URL with your classes on there, because they have to click which of your 6 classes or your 9 classes that you're going to have up there, which one they're going to join. And that is going to be done with our unique URL. So you're going to set up your classes on our website, then you're going to take that URL and put it on your website. Hopefully that helps answer your question. And we can go through these deeper and into more depth through personal emails as well. I want you guys to have my personal email address, and it is, I'll type it in the chat as well, but it is SimoneLund@letsPlayMusicSite.com. And this is going to be a great way for you to reach me directly with some of these specific questions if I don't quite get to them anyway. So do you have a payment gateway then? I'm going to talk to you about the payment gateway that we have. Our payment system is only for materials. So yes, we have parents pay just for materials through our website. The payment for tuition, which would be the classes that you teach in person, that payment goes directly to you. So if you have a payment gateway on your website that you use, send parents to your payment gateway for tuition that they're going to pay you every month. They only have to pay us one time for the materials. And then parents don't interact with us after that in terms of payment wise. The rest of the payments go directly to you as the teacher. So hopefully that clears up the payment gateway question that ABC Music had. And I love how my Shelly is typing furiously. I can hear her. I thank you so much for doing that. Okay, this is some great information, you guys. Again, you are the best. So keep typing in those questions. I love answering them. Helping you helps me. So whatever I can do to help you guys be successful and to have fun while you're teaching, that's what I'm all about. Because again, I've been doing this for 20 years and I wouldn't have been doing it that long if I didn't think it was fun and I didn't think it was worth my time. So enjoy it. I promise you it's going to be worth it. And I'm here to help. Any questions? Yeah, if you have a commercial license question, if you have a commercial studio space, we have options for that as well. And I would love to chat with you about that. So send me an email and we can go over what it means to have a commercial license versus like an at-home studio license if you're just a private single teacher. But if you have a commercial studio with multiple teachers there, let's talk about that because we have some other options for you too that are phenomenal and great that we would love to help you with so that you can grow your commercial studio as well. But we're here to grow all studios, guys, whether it's with our curriculum or whether you write your own lesson plans. We want you guys to grow and we want you to enjoy and we want you to thrive in 2025. How about that? So what else can I help you guys with? If you have more on the chat, keep them coming. I think I'll probably take questions for maybe another 2 minutes or so, and then we can just kind of wrap this up. We'll end this meeting in the next couple of minutes here. So if you've got some questions, it's a great time for you to type them into the chat. I love to hear them because, again, I want to make you guys succeed. This is a great, great thing for you guys. And I would love to see you March 7th or March 28th. I'm going to be at both of those trainings. And if you thought this seminar was really good, wait until you see me in person. It's a lot of fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed your time here with me today. I sure did. Again, I can't thank you guys enough. Cream of the crop crowd here. You guys are stellar. You're going to be great at your group lessons. And if you want to teach one of our curriculum, take 5 minutes, fill out that application, do it before Monday, qualify for that $500 off because yes, you can. Yes, you're worth it. Yes, this is for you. Yes, you can be successful and we can help you recruit. And there is no financial risk because we have got your back and we know that we can guarantee 7 students for you. So again, you guys are awesome. I don't see any more questions. So I think I'm just going to wrap this up. You guys have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy your Friday. Start writing those lesson plans or use ours because they're already written. Have a great weekend, you guys. Take care.